Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again. Believe it or not, it's been a while after a long visit uh, to Australia, New Zealand back at the end of the year. This is NOLA Theater Talk. My name is Alan Smason. I was away for a while, and then as soon as I came back to New Orleans, we had Mardi Gras, and you know how that goes. This is the show that's broadcast in the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, our own theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and of course, my own YouTube channel. Again, we're going to be talking about a new production coming up tonight of Tennessee Williams's classic, A Streetcar Named Desire. We want to talk a little bit about this production, find out a little bit more about it, and we have two of the main people involved: the artistic producer, Jaclyn Bethany, and Hannah Hall, who is the director of this particular project. So I'm going to bring them both in, and then I'm going to ask first off Jaclyn, to please tell me a little bit about the name of this group, where it hails from, because I know you were involved with the group that formerly was known as the Fireweeds.
Yes.
Okay, and they are no longer an entity that's producing shows here locally, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So what is the name of your group, and how are you going to distinguish yourself from your previous work?
Well, I mean, I'm very grateful for the work that we produced with the Fireweeds. And this company is called the Irene Collective, and it's named after Irene Selznick, who was the first, actually the first producer of Streetcar Named Desire. So she was the original Broadway producer. And she also was a theater historian and produced a lot of great theater and film work. And I wanted to honor her because she's for those who know, she's such an icon for women in theater and entertainment. And with this particular company, I wanted to start with Streetcar for multiple reasons. And so Irene that name sort of lent itself to the production company and the show. And we're looking to lift up underrepresented voices as well. And local, both South, with the Fireweeds, we did a lot of mid-century modern playwrights, and this is sort of an extension of that, but different because I have new collaborators, and it's more of an ensemble model, and we're also workshopping some new work and making it more experiential with music.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I think Irene, just when I was thinking about what the mission of this company would be and what show I wanted to start with, that sort of came to life.
So Irene, I'm assuming, is related to David Selznick, of course, of Gone to the Wind fame, and a major producer in Hollywood.
That was his wife. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she was the daughter of Louis B. Mayer. So
that makes sense too.
Huge Hollywood history. But used her money for the arts, for a good cause, and to start the career of Tennessee Williams, or extend the career of Tennessee Williams and many other playwrights.
Right, because obviously, he had already been involved and had made a sort of a splash of himself with the Glass Menagerie first.
Right.
And this came on second. All right, let's bring in Hannah Hall, who is the director of the project. Hannah, tell me first off how you got involved. Are you an old friend of Jaclyn's, or did she know you professionally somehow? Tell me how you were involved again with this project.
We circled around each other professionally.
Okay, Hannah, we're not hearing you very well. Do you have any kind of an air conditioner on, or a fan or something that may be taking away some of the noise in the room, perhaps, from you, or not?
No, nothing is on. I can't hear that in my house. I don't know why. That's the connection.
Okay, it might be the connection because it looks a little fuzzy. But all right, let's go ahead and say what you said, because we were only getting like every other third word or so.
Yes, I came on as an assistant director when we the Fireweeds did Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf a year ago, and so that's how I ended up meeting. I had known Jaclyn, professionally for a couple of years, just through friends, but that's how we first got to work together, and it was a really great experience. So we decided to continue and put up another show together.
Okay, great. Well, again, I appreciate you all being here tonight, and again, I'm not quite sure, in terms of the place where you're producing it. Where is this going to be?
It's at Big Couch in the
Okay,
Bywater.
so it's the same place where the Fireweeds had theirs.
Yes.
And what are the dates, the operable dates when it's going to open, etc.?
So we start performances March 19th, and our opening is the 20th. And we run until April 3rd.
Okay, so approximately 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 about.
I'm sorry to say that you are going to be running. Are you going to be running on that Monday night on the 30th?
No,
you'll be dark. Okay, good. Then you won't conflict with the Crescent City Theater Awards that we'll be having on that Monday night. And again, since you have not started producing any acts, any plays or other works, you would not be necessarily taking part in this year's awards because they honor the shows from 2025. But we are going to have a nice time, and we hope that maybe see forth that you'll be able to come and join in the festivities. We had a great time the first time. Did you go the first time? Did you hear about it or no?
I did.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
I think,
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to be talking again tonight about A Streetcar Named Desire, and one of the things that we do have is occasionally we can get some comments from people out there. Most of the time, though, I have to be very frank. A lot of these people are just trying to get on and say things that are not necessarily good. So I've got 3 comments that I'm going to be deleting because they're not necessarily helpful, and I won't be showing them at all, but I will be deleting them. And I'm going to also put the user in the timeouts because he's certainly not anybody that I'm going to ban him as far as that goes. So basically, I've got an idea that you're going to be presenting this, but I mean, it is a small stage, Big Couch. I know it's a big couch, but it's a small stage. How are you planning on presenting this? Hannah, this is probably a more technical question for you because, obviously you've got the scene with Stanley and Stella living in one section, and you got Blanche living in another section. You got to have a spot for the card game, and I don't see a lot of space where you're going to do that. Are you planning on having it in different sections or what?
Yeah, so we're actually in a different room than we did Virginia Woolf in, where it's next door. It's in the same building, part of the same theater, but it's a slightly bigger, but not by too much. But it will still be very intimate, just like we did Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So the audience will be, a couple feet away from the stage, and we're building the house. So the interior of the house, so we'll have the kitchen and the front room where the card game takes place. Then we'll have the section where Blanche is, on the cot, and then the bedroom in the back. And then we also have a little bit of a courtyard to give a bit of the feel of the quarter and where this takes place. So there'll be, ensemble kind of coming in and out there, and also some musicians playing live during the show to really give a sense of, the time and place.
And actually, I think Tennessee Williams had it set right outside of the quarter off of Elysian Fields.
Right, Mary.
In the Faubourg Marigny. But it's close enough. You could call it the French Quarter because it was supposed to be evocative of the French Quarter in terms of the peddlers who were going through and what have you. Are you planning on incorporating those sounds as well into your production?
Yes, absolutely. We have our sound designers creating those soundscapes as we speak, and adding layers, and that's.
So this is a town where we know Tennessee Williams probably better than most. They just did a production of A Streetcar Named Desire not very long ago, the Tennessee Williams Theater Company in New Orleans, and it took them approximately 9-10 years to mount it because they wanted to, make sure they did what they were doing in the right way, and they until they could feel comfortable that they would, do justice. I mean, right out of the block, you're all tackling this major work by Tennessee Williams. Is there anything about it that gives you any kind of like pause to reflect on this, or are you just gonna go ahead and commit?
Well, I think with my personal history with Williams and, I've worked not just in New Orleans, but in other many places on Tennessee Williams and his work, that this was sort of a natural extension for me, whether it ended up being this play or, another of his plays. But because I had been developing, I did several productions of Glass Menagerie, and then I did sort of the early Tennessee Williams one acts, and had sort of circled Streetcar for a long time. And I've seen, I think, almost every production that's been mounted of Streetcar in New York or London. And I've been very fortunate to see some really amazing actors play these roles. And I think when Hannah and I met, I knew that this would be sort of a lifelong or, a career collaboration. And I don't feel afraid or scared to do it. I mean, I think that makes great art. I think this is something that I've been working towards for a long time, actually, and I've been producing major feature films. So theater is not the same, of course, but it is, a level of commitment and work that I think that we feel very honored to take this play on and very committed to do our vision of the show.
Just for those who don't know your background, could you fill us in on a little bit of the films that you've done or that we would maybe know?
Yeah, so well, Hannah can go as well, but I started working out in New Orleans, and Mississippi, New York, and about 10 years ago. And I was an actor and also worked in production. And then I went to the American Film Institute, studied directing, and I just have been making mainly feature films, but I've done an Emmy-winning series called The Rehearsal that's available online to watch. And I have a new movie called In Transit, which is a feature film that stars Francois Arnaud from Heated Rivalry and Jennifer Ely and the writer Alex Serra-Georgiou, and that has played in competition at major festivals over the world, like in Europe and the US for the past 6 months. And then Hannah can talk a little bit about her background as well.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Again, just so that people who are not familiar with your work, I wasn't that familiar, and I knew you had done a lot, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was. Hannah, you want to fill in what you've been doing too?
Yeah, I've been working in the film industry for over 30 years now. I started out as an actor when I was about 7 or 8 years old, I think was my first project. I have ended up going to film school and working in production for the past decade here in New Orleans, and now but I had a substantial career as an actor when I was young. I worked with 8 Virgin Suicides and worked with other really incredible directors.
We're missing some of the words you're saying. So again, I'm not quite sure what it might be, but don't worry about it. We got most of them. Again, both of you have a lot of experience in film. Jaclyn has a lot of experience as well on the stage, etc. But as we all know, film, you can shoot films out of sequence. You can, go back and reshoot films if you have a problem in a scene or whatever. You can't do that when you're doing a play. It's got to be sequential, and it's got to be, the plot has to be followed, etc. So, are there different things that you're doing, to kind of ensure the fact that there's continuity going on with the production that you've got?
Yeah, well, we've been working on the show. I've also directed a lot of theater as well. And so definitely it's a different animal, completely different animal. Film is a little more technical, and I would say theater is more of a collaborative animal that you really have to understand and have a lot of time and you really trust your
Yeah, Jaclyn, it's just coming in a little bit choppy, so we just have to, deal with Hannah's bad internet connection, unfortunately. But we're still able to see her. We're just not able to hear her as well as we'd like.
Okay, so I
I,
take over,
I,
Jaclyn.
yeah,
No,
and
I was
now you're
just
coming
saying,
in
I
good. Now I could hear you fine. It's just
Okay.
I think
before
she was just talking about. She's also directed a lot of theater, and
right.
theater is, it's different because you're in the room together. It's more visceral but collaborative, and I think that's why both of us love theater because, just as on the business side, like film is very unpredictable, and theater is, it makes it's coming to life in front of you. And I think that feeling is something, you can make a movie and then it can come out 3 years later, 4 years later, and this is like the beauty of making something that is happening in front of you, and that's really
Okay,
beautiful.
so we don't have a picture of Mitch. I don't know if you've cast Mitch yet, or I assume you have by now, but
Yes.
you've got a picture of your three principals of Stanley, Blanche, and Stella. I'm assuming that the Blanche is going to be played by you, Jaclyn. Is that possible?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. It makes sense. And so, can you tell me first off who your Stanley and Stella are?
Sure, yes. So that is Lauren Guglielmello, and that is who's playing Stella, and that is Patrick Nix, who is playing Stanley. He went to UNO, and he was in Where the Crawdads Sing, that film, and several other film and TV projects. And Lauren is a theater actress I've worked with several times. We worked on some early Tennessee Williams one acts this summer, and she was and Hannah got to see it, and we sort of wanted to continue developing our artistic relationship together, and so she's playing Stella in this show.
Fantastic. Well, in honor of Stanley Kowalski, I was trying to think of what could I come up with a drink that would be emblematic of Stanley, and of course, whatever it would be would have to be a beer. So I brought Samuel Adams Winter Lager, something Stanley would probably not want to drink because it sounds too fancy for him. You know what I mean? He probably would like a Pabst Blue Ribbon or a Dixie. No, let's get down to basics. But I don't know what you all brought. So tell me, Jaclyn, what did you bring into the room?
I have red wine.
A particular vintage, or is it?
Well, I actually got this as a gift, and I haven't. It's.
I'm glad I could make you go for the one that was a gift. That's good.
Yeah, it's a Pinot Noir from Rancho Santa Rosa in California. So not really to do with the theme of the play, but something that I had.
But you said Rancho Santa Rosa. Is it near Santa Rosa County? Is it or Santa Rosa?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
I have been there, and they have wonderful wines there. They also have a place called The District or something like that. Makes the best beignets I've ever had. Better than any New Orleans beignets because they make them from scratch when you order them, and they give you a plate of 3 of them. Fantastic, yeah. And you walk into the place, and it's all got Saints paraphernalia, Drew Brees on the wall, and whatever. It's really wonderful. Apparently, a transplant after Katrina, who was from Chalmette, went to move to Santa Rosa and set it up, and everybody loves the place. It's very good. Hannah, what did you bring in?
I'm drinking some tea, some hibiscus tea.
We have a fruit teetotaler here.
Weekend's festivities.
Well, all right. Well, you understand that Hannah and that Jaclyn and I have set the mark a little higher for you. So next show we have one, we're gonna have to see if we can bring something other than tea in. But that's okay. Normally one of the things that we talk about is the rehearsal process. This is already February the 9th. I'm assuming at this point in time you've already started your rehearsals, right?
Yeah, we did. We've done a week with the leads, and everyone starts next week.
Okay. And have you cast your Mitch? Do we know who that is yet, or?
Yes, it's Justin Davis.
Justin Davis. Okay. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm not sure if everybody knows who that is, but was there something we saw him in lately, or?
He was in Fat Ham at the NOLA project.
Yeah.
Very good. That was a very interesting, very good production. A lot of fun. Yeah. and I was glad to see that they did that. It was the first time it was a regional premiere here, the first time that it had been tackled and appropriately done with a good number of actors who were participating with the NOLA project, who were actually students at Dillard University. So that worked out great. Delighted to know that. Okay, so that's going to be Mitch. You've got your three principals, and again, I know there's a picture of you, Jaclyn, and I guess you're Stella, who you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Any reason you did this in black and white? Was it to give a little bit more of a period feel, or
We wanted
Yeah.
to.
So
A lot of our photos for our PR, for that we're releasing on our Instagram right now are really about the backstory of the characters, which we thought was really interesting. Was how Stella and Stanley meet, and then who are our characters and where are they coming from before our story starts.
Understood. So that picture that I had just posted is really of the two sisters when they were back at the mansion.
Yes.
at Belle
I
Reve,
got
yes.
you.
Belle Reve. Yeah.
Belle Reve, absolutely.
Mhm.
So again, most people in New Orleans, who live in the town know the story. Is there anything that you all are doing that's a little different? You said the backstory. How are you explaining those backstories? Is it done in a way that we're going to be exposed in some way?
I think that they're very informative into who these people are, and I think we're starting to play from a place of understanding where Blanche is coming from, and that she has come upon hard times. And I think that that is something we're really interested in exploring, and also exploring some unseen moments that are, not often staged or glossed over. And I think just having the lens, the point of view coming from the sisters and Blanche especially, and having Hannah oversee it as a woman is just a different perspective than we've seen this play before. So that I think is inherently exciting to us. And I'm also from Mississippi, so I have a lot of maybe personal things that I can bring to it, and really an understanding of the characters and of the background that Blanche is coming from.
So, in terms of the cast, it's going to be the full cast that you've got, and you said you've got some sounds that you're doing right now that you're working on. There are a lot of all smaller, people who are involved as well. I mean, how big a cast do you have, and are some people doubling up?
We have 11 people in the cast. Yes, so it's a pretty large ensemble. And there are two or three actors that are, or I think just two actually, that are playing multiple roles.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's always a bit of a challenge sometimes to understand what's going on. So we have a opportunity for anybody who wants to, post a comment or whatever. We did have earlier. One person did mention the sound was not so good. Hopefully we've gotten past that point. But other than that, we've got a few other people who are posting comments that are not necessarily appropriate. So we'll just, as I said, get rid of some of them. What I would like to say though is it's very important to me, especially since this is your first outing, for people to understand that it's difficult to get a theater company off the ground and to be able to begin to build the potential for having a season, etc. So this is your first foray into producing theater, with the Irene project, right?
Yes.
So Fireweeds notwithstanding, we know y'all did very well with that, but this is a new company and different perspectives, different mission probably, and things of that sort. So we want people to understand that starting off, you need to be in a position where you can support the smaller companies. I mean, because we already have our established bigger companies. So my question for you is did you form this as a money making or a nonprofit? How did you end up deciding how to do this?
Well, I think you don't ever go into these things trying to make money. But, I think I started this company because I believe in art, and I want to produce work and support other artists. Um, but yeah, we have a fiscal sponsor, so we are sponsored by a nonprofit.
Okay.
And so most of our funding does come from grants.
So if somebody wanted to donate money to you for your future productions, how would they do that? There's not a 501c3 that you've got that you can accept.
Well,
funds.
yes, we do. That's what I'm saying. So we do have that.
Okay.
It's through a company called Fractured Atlas, which is a fiscal sponsor.
Which I know them because Fat Squirrel used them in the past. I think they
Mhm.
moved away from them, but basically it's a 501c3 that allows other smaller 501c3s or other smaller companies to receive their monies. Right. It's a good
Correct. Yes.
a good way to start because you don't have to, fully invest with all that's entailed with having a 501c3. And I promise I don't want to go into all the permutations of what that means and all the ins and outs of, but having to start up the award show, we formed a nonprofit, and it's a full-time job, to try to get this all off. In terms of what you're doing for props, for scene and set design and all that, I mean, how are you where are you doing all that? You can't be doing it at Big Couch because they're probably not going to let you come in until like the week before you open, right?
Hannah, you can.
Yeah, we are doing it at Big Couch. We're going to be
Oh,
building.
they're letting you store the
Yeah,
sets
we'll be
there.
rehearsing there for starting next week pretty full time. So we're gonna I think a week into our rehearsals we're gonna be starting to build, and we've been working with some local prop houses, and we have some great crew involved that is doing a lot of the sourcing because it is a very prop heavy show. And we are
Yeah.
building out the full house with the kitchen and everything. So we've been working pretty much nonstop with the designers and kind of sourcing all of that and putting it all together. So we will be building that all at Big Couch within the second week of.
Well, that's fantastic because
Yeah.
I know that in the past some companies were not able to store their sets, etc., and it made it rather problematic for people to mount their shows. So yeah. So knowing that we're going to be opening this thing, you said March the
20th.
20th, and it opens the 19th, but I guess it's going to be like a preview.
Yes.
So, do you feel comfortable that you've got the timeline down and everything will be ready to go? I mean, are you feeling good?
I mean, as good as you can. You gotta believe in what you're doing. But yeah, of course, it's a lot, and it's a short rehearsal period, but we've been putting a lot of time, thought, energy, and effort into working with our cast and crew and creating a vision for the show and making sure that everyone is a part of that and understands it. So I'm feeling pretty confident that we're gonna get there. You have
Well,
to.
again, I just I want to extend all of the confidence that you all are giving me. I want to extend to you, my hope that you break legs and everything goes well. That we know that there's always something going to happen, but by the same token, you sometimes those little small problems that'll happen can make a production even better because it makes you think out of the box. So hopefully you don't have any problems and everything goes smoothly. But there are some challenges in putting on live theater, and we know that sometimes you just have to move on and just try to stay with the program. Again, A Streetcar Named Desire, March 19th preview opens March the 20th at Big Couch, and we want everybody to know that they can get tickets where, because we have not talked about that.
Yeah, so
where you sell?
our tickets actually go on sale next week. They go on sale on the 20th after Mardi Gras. and they will be available on our website, which is www.streetcarnola.net.
Okay, can you say that one more time? And I might be able to, if I do it slowly, I might be able to post it up and have it on there. So what is it again?
www.streetcarnola.net.
Now you didn't put it under under Irene, huh?
No, I think Streetcar is more well known at the moment. So yeah, we kind of wanted to make an event out of it.
All right. Well, let's see. I'm hoping that I can get it. Let's see if it'll allow me to do this. How's that?
Yep.
Yep, it's there.
Now, my question for you is, the next production you do, you're not going to be able to use this unless you think you can. I mean, if you can
website,
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, no. It's linked to. It is an Irene. It's the IreneCollective.com. They both. They will. I don't want to give you that because I'm not 100% sure that's the correct link, but it does link back to. So there's when I want to change, it's the same, basically.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. All right. No problem. So there you have it. And do you know the way the tickets are going to run, the pricing yet, or?
Yeah. So it's general admission is $25. Reserved tickets, VIP tickets are $40.
Okay, and reasonably priced. Again, is it going to be done in how many acts are we going to do this in? And have we?
2.
You're going to do? Okay. You all right?
Something just crashed into my house upstairs.
Oh, I hope it wasn't anything like an airplane or anything like that.
Oh my God! Sorry, I don't know what that was.
Those mosquitoes are pretty big out there, but I don't think they're that big. All right. Well, Hannah, look, I thank you for coming tonight. And again, I know that you've got several weeks of work cut out for you with your cast, and Jaclyn, I know you're going to be part of that cast, so several weeks of rehearsing and getting everything together. But you have 2 hats. You're not only the actress, but you're also a producer. So, you got that extra burden. And again, I know this will be something I'm looking forward to seeing. Now, that's the first weekend. I'm trying to think. That's going to be that's the 3rd weekend, right around the beginning of what would I guess the beginning of spring. How appropriate. Yeah. So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing it. And again, it's going to be running long enough that if you can't make it the first weekend, it'll be available for another couple of weeks after that. So
yeah, 2 more weekends after the first weekend. So yeah, we're very excited.
All right, you got it. Look, I appreciate everything you're doing, and I hope that other people do as well. Streetcarnola.net. Again, the Irene Project. Again, we're looking at Streetcar Named Desire. Tennessee Williams, one of his, I would say probably considered one of his top 3 plays for sure. Some people may like to put Cat on a Hot Tin Roof above it. Others may say it's better. And of course, Glass Menagerie. I would probably say that's the triple jewel. Although other people love several of the other works that he's done. I mean, there's quite a number out there, and the ones that probably have made the most impact, the one that's most closely aligned with New Orleans, of course, is Streetcar. Although Vieux Carré does come in second sometimes, and there are a couple of others like I think there's a interesting aspect of New Orleans with isn't it Only Last Summer?
Yeah, where, last summer it's 7.
So that's also, and of course several of the smaller plays. He's got New Orleans characters who pop up, and again, for somebody who's such a formidable writer, he wrote. It seems like every day of his life, practically, he devoted himself to the writing craft, and so as a result, many times he would write things, and then he would come back and revisit them. So which was one of the things I was very appreciative of when you went back and you did the original versions of Glass Menagerie and Streetcar. with the Fireweeds, because we got to see a little bit of the original shadings of what he was trying to do, and of course it was developed much later on with the help of great directors too. I'd have to say the director, Elie Kazan, probably helped hone that Streetcar and Glass Menagerie. I think was also very important. So we appreciate doing all this, and it's not easy to run a theater company. I understand it's not easy to run a theater company and be an actress or be a director in a new theater company. So I hope that everything goes well. Again, everybody knows streetcarnola.net, and don't forget Big Couch, which is on the corner of Desire and St. Claude Avenue, right there on the side of Desire. So again, I'm going to ask you all to stick around while I close out and tell everybody good night. So hang in there. And again, thank you, Jaclyn. Thank you, Hannah. My name's again Alan Smason, and this is the NOLA Theater Talk Show. We broadcast to the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, to the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, as well as my own YouTube channel. And we thank you for being here. We have not been on a regular basis, but we're going to try to get on as much as we can. Mardi Gras always intercedes with lots of different things that we do, but we appreciate you all being here tonight, and I'll see you at the theater.